Did the Queen ever order fast food? Okay, hands up, I made a big mistake.
I mean, there's so much coming in, it's very difficult to keep up with it all.
For years, the former royal chef stayed silent, witnessing shocking secrets behind palace doors. But now he's finally breaking his silence about Camilla, and what he reveals could shake the monarchy to its core. What did she really do? Stay tuned and hit subscribe for the explosive truth. For decades, Darren McGrady remained the royal family's loyal chef, a silent observer behind the palace walls. He watched his secrets unraveled, yet he kept his lips sealed. But now, at 63, he's speaking out, and what he's saying about Camilla is sending shockwaves through royal circles. Darren, who once served Queen Elizabeth, Prince Charles, and Princess Diana, has finally broken his silence. And his words? Far from subtle. The world expected him to uphold his reputation as Diana's quiet protector, the man who never wavered in his loyalty. But when Camilla was crowned queen consort, Darren said something that caught everyone off guard. He publicly supported the coronation, a gesture that many saw as a betrayal to Diana's memory.
I feel my role is supporting my husband, and whenever I can.
Social media erupted with criticism, some accusing him of switching sides, others questioning his true intentions. Was this a sincere change of heart or a calculated move? And why now, after all these years? Stay tuned. The revelations are just beginning. Darren McGrady wasn't always the man the world knows today. He started his royal career as a humble kitchen assistant, one of 20 staff members tasked with preparing meals for the most powerful family in Britain. Young, ambitious, and eager to make a name for himself, he never imagined the royal kitchen would become his second home. But it was during these early years that he first crossed paths with Princess Diana. Unlike the other royals, Diana treated the staff with genuine kindness. While most orders were delivered through butlers and aides, Diana often appeared in the kitchen herself, barefoot and casual, asking for snacks for herself and her boys.
Traveling all around the world with her, wherever she went to. And then 4 years,
Darren couldn't help but notice the warmth she brought to a place otherwise marked by rigid protocols and unspoken rules. Her down-to-earth nature left a lasting impact, making Darren feel like he was more than just the hired help. But as the years passed, he would see a different side of palace life, one that wasn't so welcoming. Camilla's influence grew stronger, and whispers of her close relationship with Prince Charles became more frequent. It was a change Darren couldn't ignore. What was happening behind closed doors, and how did it affect Diana's once vibrant spirit? Darren's bond with Diana only deepened over the years. He wasn't just her chef, he became a quiet confidant, someone who saw her at her most vulnerable moments. Diana had a way of making even the most ordinary moments feel significant. Every evening, she'd request her favorite juice, freshly made carrot, celery, or apple, depending on her mood.
I'm not going to say anything, babe.
Right, but Prince Charles did give us a hint himself. He said we wouldn't have.
But as her marriage to Prince Charles started to crumble, those simple requests began to change. Some nights, she wouldn't ask for anything at all. Darren noticed the subtle shifts, a missed meal here, a silent tear there. One evening, as he brought her the usual juice, Diana drank it in one gulp, her eyes distant. "I always knew I'd never be queen," she said, her voice barely above a whisper. Darren didn't know how to respond, so he didn't. He just listened. It was in these quiet moments that Darren witnessed the toll Camilla's presence took on Diana. While the world speculated about the royal love triangle, Darren saw firsthand how the weight of it all was slowly eroding Diana's once luminous spirit. But how much did Camilla's influence truly impact Diana's life behind closed doors? And why did Darren stay silent for so long?
And I'm very happy to have done and achieved what we have, me and the Red Cross.
Camilla Parker's rise from the shadows to queen consort was nothing short of a royal reinvention. Once deemed the most hated woman in Britain, she gradually transformed her public image, a calculated shift that didn't go unnoticed by those who once served Diana. Darren McGrady watched as Camilla's influence grew, inching closer to the throne with every passing year. But what the public didn't see was how her presence started to reshape life inside the palace. Familiar faces began to disappear, charities Diana once championed were sidelined, and even personal mementos of the late princess started to vanish. For Darren, the change was palpable. The palace felt colder, the warmth Diana once brought fading with each new decision Camilla made. To the public, Camilla's rise was portrayed as a love story finally finding its happy ending. But for Darren, it felt more like a quiet erasure of everything Diana once represented. Despite all this, Darren kept his silence. Until now.
But I don't think I am. I'm a perfectionist with myself, but not necessarily with everyone.
But what finally pushed him to speak? Was it guilt, anger, or something deeper? The moment Darren McGrady chose to break his silence wasn't just any day. It was the day of King Charles III and Queen Camilla's coronation. As the world celebrated, Darren dropped a statement that would forever alter how people viewed his loyalty. "I believe it's possible to honor the present while still cherishing the past," he said. On the surface, it seemed like a simple, harmless statement. But to those who remembered his unwavering devotion to Diana, it felt like a stab in the back. Social media exploded. "You were her chef, her confidant," one commenter wrote. "How could you celebrate the woman who caused her so much pain?" Others rushed to Darren's defense, arguing that time changes people and that perhaps Darren was simply trying to move forward. But what was Darren's real intention? Did he truly believe in Camilla's new role, or was he pressured to make a public statement? And if so, by whom? The truth remained as elusive as ever. As Camilla's presence became more prominent, Darren noticed subtle yet significant changes within the palace. It started with the decor. Diana's favorite flowers replaced with Camilla's choices.
Princess Diana took William and Harry to Disney World, and they had so much fun there.
Her photographs slowly disappearing from public view. Rooms once filled with memories of Diana were redecorated to reflect Camilla's taste, her influence creeping into every corner of the palace. Even Diana's iconic wedding photograph, once proudly displayed, was quietly removed, sparking rumors among the staff. For Darren, it wasn't just about the physical changes, it was about the emotional shift, the sense that Diana's presence was being systematically erased. But why would anyone go to such lengths to erase Diana's legacy? And what did Darren see that made him believe it was more than just a simple redecoration? Darren's confession ignited a firestorm online. Supporters applaud him for finally speaking out, praising his loyalty to Diana. "Thank you, Darren, for being the voice Diana never had," one wrote.
We get fed up and all these young feel nothing is ever happening, so of course they're going to get frustrated.
But not everyone was on his side. Critics accused him of capitalizing on old wounds, questioning why he waited so long to speak. "Why now, Darren? Why after celebrating the coronation?" Darren responded with calm resolve, maintaining that he was simply sharing his truth. But the question lingered. Was he being honest, or was there more to the story? Despite the backlash, Darren remained steadfast in his stance. He claimed he wasn't taking sides, just speaking his truth. "You can honor the present while still remembering the past," he said. But his supporters aren't convinced. They argue that supporting Camilla contradicts everything he once stood for. Was Darren trying to make peace with the palace, or simply trying to stay relevant? When Darren McGrady finally broke his silence, the world held its breath, waiting for the palace to respond. But as days turned into weeks, the response remained the same.
I was a separated wife to the Prince of Wales. I was a problem, full stop. Never happened before. What?
Absolute silence. It was the royal family's classic tactic, the one they've mastered for decades. Never complain, never explain. But this time, the silence spoke volumes. Inside the palace walls, tension simmered. While the public debated Darren's words, palace insiders whispered about the impact of his revelations. Some claimed that Darren's confession had struck a nerve, unsettling Camilla's carefully constructed public image. After years of transforming herself from the other woman to queen consort, could one man's words really undo all that work? Behind the scenes, palace officials scrambled to control the narrative. Damage control meetings were allegedly held, discussing how to handle the fallout without directly acknowledging Darren's claims. But what could they say? After all, Darren had been part of the royal household for years.
That was one of the Queen's favourite tea cakes, and she'd asked for that for tea. And
a trusted insider who had seen it all. His words carried weight, and the public knew it. Meanwhile, those who had once served Diana felt the sting of betrayal. Some reportedly reached out to Darren, offering their support, while others distanced themselves, fearing backlash from the palace. The whispers grew louder. Would other staff members step forward with their own stories? The palace may have chosen silence, but Darren's words echoed through the corridors, raising more questions than answers. Was this just the beginning? Or would more explosive revelations follow? Darren McGrady's confession has left the world divided. Was he a hero for finally speaking up, or a traitor to Diana's memory? The truth is, we may never know. What do you think? Was Darren right to speak now, or should he have kept his silence? Let us know in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe for more untold royal secrets.